What's going on, everyone? It's Fade Stats, and the playoffs have just gotten crazy. First, I want to start off with the Miami Heat versus the Milwaukee Bucks. And in this game, Giannis does go down with a back injury, but his X-ray came back, and he will be cleared to go in Game 2. Playoff Jimmy is a real thing, and he shows up again once more to get it done for the Heat in the playoffs. Now, one thing about these playoffs so far is through one game, it seems like we've had so many injuries already. We have Tyler Hero breaking his hand in this game. Ja Morant looks like he broke his hand in their game. And then, obviously, Giannis took a hard fall, but he will be back and cleared to play. I do still think the Bucks will win this, obviously, because the Heat just don't have enough firepower to keep this up to beat the Bucks for 4 games. Then we're going to move on to the Knicks and Cavs game, where Jalen Brunson had 21 points in the second half to push the Knicks past the Cavs in Game 1. And yeah, in this game, the Knicks really just looked more physical. They looked like they wanted it more. It looked like they wanted it more in the Cavs. I know some of y'all have probably seen that one clip of Julius Randle just absolutely bullying Evan Mobley on a free throw. And the crazy thing is, RJ Barrett or Brenton Grimes, they both didn't have too bad of a game, and the Knicks were able to walk away in this one with a huge contribution from Josh Hart and Isaiah Hartenstein off the bench. And Julius Randle also helped out in this one. I do still think the Cavs are going to win this series, but it might be in 7 games now. I predicted it in 6. But yeah, in Game 2, the Cavs are just going to have to be really physical. And Darius Garland is going to have to go in there and grab some rebounds. It's the playoffs. You've got to get physical. We all know this is more physical time. Darius Garland had zero rebounds. I know he's the smallest guy on the court, but it's the playoffs. You got to get in there. You got to do all the little things right. Now, moving on to the Lakers-Grizzlies series, I think this series is probably pretty much over. I don't know. We'll see in Game 2 what happens. If the Lakers win, I could say it's probably over. If Ja Morant isn't healthy. The Grizzlies have just been hit by all the injuries this year. Steven Adams, Brandon Clark, Ja Morant, you name it. Even Jaren Jackson missed some time earlier this year. But Jaren Jackson did win Defensive Player of the Year. Congrats to him. Quick shout out real quick. And yeah, man, if Ja Morant is hurt, I just don't see any way the Grizzlies can win this series, especially when the best duo in the NBA, Rui Hachimura and Austin Reeves, are playing like they did. Now, that being said, I'm going to have to agree with Desmond Bane. I don't think Rui Hachimura is going to have another game like he just had. Reason for that being, he's only hit 4 threes 2 other times in his career. But this could all depend on AD's health as well. If AD goes down, they don't have that guy that's a threat in the paint and possibly move Jaren Jackson to the outside of the perimeter. They don't have that guy if AD goes down. And as we see, he did have a little shoulder sting in the first half of that game. Yeah, Austin Reeves played great. Rui Hachimura played great. And it's kind of amazing to see how different this Lakers team looks just after the trade deadline. It kind of reminds me of the Cavs team on the Cavs team LeBron was on a couple years back. Now moving on to the Celtics-Hawks series. Celtics in 4. I don't think I need to go over that much. It's pretty self-explanatory. They absolutely destroyed the Hawks in that first game. There is a world where the Hawks can win one game, but I just don't see it after watching that Game 1. And the Celtics are just better. That's plain and simple. We all know that. And then moving on to the other snoozer series, the Nuggets versus the Timberwolves. I mean, Nuggets in 4, Nuggets in 5. It doesn't matter. Nuggets are going to win. They just absolutely destroyed the Timberwolves. And it looked like the Timberwolves had no clue what they were doing out there. Now moving on to one of the top 2 most interesting series we will have all season. We will have in these playoffs the Clippers still Game 1 against the Phoenix Suns behind a Russell Westbrook game where he shot 3 for 19 from the field and still made winning plays and made a winning impact on this game. This game was fun, man. This game was really fun. We had KD and Kawhi going at it for a little bit, and that was fun to watch. Kawhi had 38 points, I believe, and we are seeing again that Kawhi, when it comes playoff time, he is just on a whole nother level. They had him guarding KD. They had him guarding DeAndre Ayton, and he held his own and dominated on both sides of the ball, all without Paul George. And then you have the Russell Westbrook game, who was just an absolute menace on defense the other night and creating second chance opportunities for the Clippers to get some clutch buckets down the stretch. I mean, it was just an awesome game to watch. Russ versus KD. Russ picked KD's pockets twice, and then he blocked him. And I actually think the Suns won't win this series in 5 games, like I originally predicted, because looking at it now, the Clippers are just so much deeper than the Suns, and especially with campaign out for the Suns, they don't have that backup guard who's looking to score, who's looking to be aggressive, and that really hurts them. Now, obviously, I still think the Suns are going to win. I just think it's a lot more interesting now because you have the dynamic. Russell Westbrook, we didn't know he's going to come out and play defense like that. We didn't know how good Kawhi was going to play like that. But the Suns still do have Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, And one thing I did notice is that Kevin Durant only had 2 shots in I think the third or fourth quarter. But regardless of the quarter, it doesn't matter. Kevin Durant should not be having 2 shots in any quarter in this game. And the Suns have to do a better job of looking for him and getting him his shots. There's no world where Kevin Durant should be taking less than 20 shots in a playoff game. The Clippers defense as a whole looked like they had the Suns so confused out there. It looked like the Suns were not getting into any of their sets. And when Devin Booker had the ball, he looked like he was being too decisive about what he wanted to do. And then at other times, you had Kawhi Leonard, who was on DeAndre Ayton in the post, and the Suns were never really looking for Ayton at all. If Zubac is off the floor, I think you have to go to DeAndre Ayton as much as possible, even if Miles Plumlee is on him, especially when he has a smaller defender. Now, no, Kawhi still might bully him down there, but regardless of the fact, Kawhi's a smaller defender compared to Ayton, and the Suns need to look for Ayton. And I really think this series all depends on him and how he dominates the paint and how he cleans up the glass, because we did not see that at all in Game 1. But yeah, I still think the Suns are going to win, and because the Clippers stole Game 1, this series is going to be really fun and a lot more interesting. The 76ers take a 2-0 lead on the Brooklyn Nets, and now we all know who's going to win this series. The Sixers have dominated this series so far, and they haven't even needed Joel Embiid to play that hard. There was a point in time tonight where the Nets did make it interesting in the third quarter, but as soon as the fourth quarter started, Tyrese Maxey took over, and the Sixers ended up running away with it against the Nets. I do think the Nets will take the next game on their home floor, but that's about it. Good game from Cam Johnson. He had 20-plus first-half points, I believe. And yeah, the Sixers have really made it easy on Joel Embiid this series. And now moving on to the series everybody is probably talking about. The Sacramento Kings take a 2-0 lead on the Golden State Warriors. How crazy does that sound? I mean, the last time the Kings had a 2-0 lead was in 2004 against the Dallas Mavericks, where they won in 5 games. And the last time the Golden State Warriors have been down 0-2 in a series was in 2007. And this is the first time Steph Curry has been down 0-2 in his entire career. What can I say, man? What can I say? The Kings have looked magnificent. De'Aaron Fox taking over as the clutch player of the year. We already know it already. Just announce it. Give him the award because we know it's going to happen. He does it again in the fourth quarter in both games. And in game 2 last night, the Kings defense was just on a whole nother level. Steph Curry shot 3 for 13 from 3. And yeah, I don't know how much longer the Warriors are going to be able to play Jordan Poole in this one. He's looked really bad for the first 2 games. I mean, the Sacramento Kings, when he is on the court, they are going right at him. They're running whoever offense on Jordan Poole. And then on the offensive end, he cannot buy a bucket right now. And he's taking bad shots, in my opinion. He's just running up, shooting it like he's Steph when he's not. We all know this. He's just running up, shooting, taking bad transition shots, doing dumb stuff with the ball. And I don't know how much longer he's going to be able to play. I'd rather see Dante DiVincenzo and Gary Payton in there right now. And then Draymond, man. Draymond, what do I say? I mean, I guess Sabonis did grab his foot. But I just feel like there was no reason for that at all. And it's a shame because now Domas Sabonis is going to get x-ray, and we don't know the results yet, but he could possibly have broken ribs. We hope not. But yeah, that Draymond incident did not look good, and he definitely deserved to be ejected for that. That's all I'm going to say on that. But shout out to the Kings fans. They've been waiting on this moment for 16 years, and they're up 2-0 on the defending champions, and the crowd is absolutely electric. And they have been a factor in these 2 games for the Kings so far. And again, the Warriors just haven't been able to win on the road this season. We'll see what they can do when they go back home. They'll probably look better. I hope they look better. And the Kings have absolutely just dominated the paint in this series. I don't know the exact numbers, but if you look them up, you can definitely see that the Kings are just outscoring the Warriors in the paint over and over again. And it's because the Warriors don't have a big besides Kevon Looney, but it's kind of hard to play him when the Kings are running out De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk, Kevin Huerter, Harrison Barnes, and Sabonis. And the Kings at home so far have proven they are a force to be reckoned with. And shout out to the crowd. They really have been a big impact, I believe, stopping multiple Warriors runs, not quieting down when the game gets close, and Klay Thompson hits a big shot. They're amped up. And yeah, that Draymond podcast coming out is going to be really interesting to see what he has to say. I know Sabonis did grab his foot, but there's just no place for that. But yeah, the Kings defense in game 2 was key to their victory, and I don't think I've ever seen the Warriors being guarded like that. And this is going to be a fun one. We'll see if the Warriors can take 2 games back at home, where they will have to go on the road again, and against all odds. Somehow the Warriors are going to have to win a game in Sacramento if they want to win this series, and they haven't been able to win on the road all year. So we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching.